Man, guys, we just got back from church, back to the camper, and we noticed something a little funky about the campground.
It looks a little different.
Take a look at this.
Ho ho ho! Yep.
This looks a lot like Shady Acres.
Huh. That's weird.
Hey guys, welcome back to K&S Get Out. We're out here at Shady Acres, and today is another exciting day.
We're making progress.
Yeah. Do we ever have non-exciting days?
I mean, yes, sometimes.
Oh yeah, you just don't see those. Yeah, we don't show that part. But hey, there's something I've been dreaming of getting out here. You guys have suggested it for many of videos, and finally, I've proven my worthiness to get something out here.
It's happening today.
Dun 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 dun. Dad's Kubota. Oh, thanks, Dad. Dad over at Grandpa Adler Farms. The tractor's been sitting in it for a while. He finally got to see me do a little skid steer work, some excavator work. I didn't kill his snapper mower. We've earned it. It's time. So what are we doing? Well, we're gonna do tractor work. That's all we're doing.
But our specific project is we're going to cover up the trench over the driveway. It's been very annoying to not be able to drive over that.
Yeah. Hey, if you just watched Dad's video, you know, and of course you guys follow pretty much me, my dad, Chad, and Shannon, Ray, all the whole family, but Smokey is back in town. Smokey is at Grandpa Adler Farms now. I believe, like I said, if you just watched Grandpa's video, you probably saw it, but if not, go check his video out after this. It has changed the dynamic. We're having to, you know, change things up a little bit as far as what we're doing with Hercules. We're keeping him away from Smokey until Smokey's reacclimated, but everything's going pretty well, and the goats, you know, they're all like, hey, I know them. Our goats are like, hey, how did Hercules get so big, so fast? So they just kind of keep their space from her, but everything's going well over there, guys. Go watch Dad's video, and we're gonna figure out, you know, if and when there's ever a time we're gonna try to introduce Hercules to Smokey, or if that's just, you know, if there's no reason for it, then we won't. Just wanted to mention that. Stick around to the end of the video. Got a big surprise, big news, stinking awesome. But for now, let's get to work. I'm ready to play on the tractor.
I bet you are.
I mean, work on the tractor. We'll see. I'm gonna try not to break it, Dad. Bear with us.
I'm gonna try to find every project I can that requires a tractor while we're out here for him to do.
Yeah, I'm fine with that. All right, let's get to it. All right, so in our last video, you saw us kind of dumping all of the bedding down in the trench. Well, since then, we put the conduit in over here, that thick metal conduit. We ran both of our power lines that are going, one to the campsite, one to the well house, and then of course, both of them to the main breaker. Those are now through this right here. We have not been able to drive up here in my truck or anything for a while because we've had this open trench. So today, what we're gonna focus on is getting that closed up. We put the bedding back in on top by hand, and then we've got all that rock and everything that needs to be pushed back in, and I'm gonna kind of try to float the bucket backwards and drag it and level it out. And then we'll bring the truck over, drive over it, and smush it down. And it's nice and sunny and bright and cool today, a cool 92 degrees.
I was gonna say not hot at all.
No, there's a slight breeze. We got our nice shade tent, so this should be fun. All right, I'm gonna get to it.
Okay. So right now, Kyle is trying to use the weight of the tractor to kind of pack down where he added some dirt over that trench, just to make it a lot more dense or whatever, so that whenever we do start driving over it, it's kind of compacted and not just a whole bunch of loose dirt and gravel and stuff like that. He's doing a killer job. Absolutely rocking it. And that's my tent that he's trying so hard not to destroy. And I do appreciate that. It's my shade refuge.
That ain't no skid steer, but that's a whole lot better than shovels and rakes and rock picks.
Absolutely. Good work. You did awesome.
Hey, thanks. Yeah, Shannon asked me at one point, I forget if she was recording or not. She goes, do you feel like you're working in slow-mo? Yeah, a little bit, because, you know, that skid steer, especially that 333G, I think it's got about 82 more horsepower than this guy and outweighs
That's
him.
not much.
Yeah, no, it only outweighs him by 5 tons. But this is, I mean, as far as maneuverability and, you know, being able to just very easily, like, do this, do that, you get better visibility. That's awesome. That was so much easier than what we were doing with those shovels and everything.
That makes such a big difference already.
Yeah. So what I can do, you know, my truck obviously weighs a little bit more than this guy, so I can just kind of drive that with the truck a bit and keep smushing it down. And, you know, that will compact a little more over time in the next rain and stuff, but we got enough fill around here that because we put that bedding in there, we could use some more of that fill right here if we need to over time. That way we don't have like a big speed bump at the top of the driveway that's forever annoying.
Or a big dip.
Or a big dip, like me. Nah.
That's not what I mean.
She called me a big dip. Well, I mean, do we show them the other surprise?
Yeah, why not?
I mean, yeah, there's more I want to do with the tractor, but we don't have the water PEX in. We don't have the electric. I mean, we have the electric everywhere else, but I can't fill in the trenches yet because of, you know, got to get the rest of the stuff in there. But there was a time sensitivity. For those of you who follow our channel closely, there was a time sensitivity to get our camper off the campground to save us a good chunk of money for another month's rent. Well, tomorrow's the deadline.
What's that mean?
That means it's time to move the camper.
And
we did. Come up front, we want to show you something. It's so exciting. The day has come.
the day is here, guys.
Last night, Shannon's dad came out and helped us. He's been a huge help through all this process. And the camper I pulled empty to the campground from where we purchased it. And it's at the top end of what my truck should be pulling. But now that we've got some of our stuff in there, we upgraded the bed to a much heavier bed than the other one. I didn't really want to carry this down the highway. So Shannon's dad has a Ram, a 2500, that is more suited for this and pulled it a whole lot better. So he came and pulled it out here for us, and I pulled the trailer with some of the rest of the stuff from the outside of the campground. But guys, we're out of the campground. Check it out. Home has been relocated.
That is such a good sight to see, you guys.
Yeah. Now,
Talk about exciting.
We had a scary moment. I don't want to hear about it in the comments below, okay? Don't want to hear about it. But I just want to be open and honest with you so that you guys learn, if you're doing something like this, watch these things. We knew that today we were going to be coming out with the tractor to finish that so that we could pull this up there where it's more level. So we brought this out kind of quick, fast, and in a hurry because we had dinner plans with my family last night. So this was about the most level spot up here without putting it way too far over there. That'd make it really hard to get hooked back up to it. And we had decided to chalk the wheels. We have those chocks that you wrench down and it presses out on them. So we did that on both sides. We got it level front to back, but it wasn't perfectly level left to right. In fact, these are our little levels that we have to go off of, and our front to back is right about at a 0, pretty stinking close. But our left to right is a little bit different. So we went to dinner, we left my truck and trailer on the other side of the camper out here. We took Shannon's car back into town, came back, and she dropped me off. I picked up the truck and I started to leave. She had already pulled out, and I noticed something. For one, that's the level of the left to right. Shouldn't be a major problem if we're not going in the camper and, you know, moving around. And we knew it was just going to be one night that we were sitting out here, but Bubble's all the way over there. And I forgot that I had this wooden block. That's what we had it sitting on at the campground. But at the time, all I remembered that we had were these, which is what we put under the jack stands. And on level ground, they work just fine. I noticed this I had on center whenever we unhooked it from Ken's trailer. But when I got back here after dinner, it had slid to this front left quadrant right here, and a little bit of this circle was kind of hanging off. I panicked. I thought, man, I'm gonna come out tomorrow and this thing's gonna be over on its side. So I looked in the bed of my truck everywhere. Sure enough, I had the original block that we used and it fit under that lip, so I just slid it under there as best I could. And then, man, I was praying all night last night and worried about this morning. It did end up sliding off of the plastic things and it landed on that wooden block and it kept it up. So
thank goodness. Praise the Lord.
Praise the Lord. Learn from us. I don't need to hear about what I did wrong down in the comments below. I'm fully aware. But we, like I said, we were on a time crunch and got it out here. Just don't, you know, if it's not going to be level, don't let it be on a slick surface like plastic. Make sure it's on something like that wood block. Okay, scary negative moment aside, we're past that. Now we're on to, let's do the exciting part. Just got the driveway trench in. I'm gonna take my truck across that a couple times, make sure I don't feel any gaps or anything that I missed. But we're gonna put the truck on this guy and we're gonna try to pull it up the hill. Hopefully it goes fine. Again, I'm kind of at the top limitations of the truck's numbers by the sticker. Those are technically for the legality of driving down the road with him, so we're not going out on the road, we're just gonna pull it up the driveway. But
should be fine.
It'll be fine, she says. Our driveway, very uneven. We have that asphalt, so we're gonna go in low gear, probably 4-wheel drive with a nice slow climb. And I know we have some limbs that are hanging down too low, so we're gonna take our time, get out, assess which ones need to come down. We got the pole saw out here, and we're gonna try to get this thing up there. Now we're gonna put it a little beyond where the permanent location of it will be, because obviously we have more work to do to finish that out, but that gets this away from the road a little bit.
And hopefully more level.
And definitely more level. It's way more level up there. And we got the generator, so if we need to, you know, plug it up and kick it on for a little while while we're out here working or something, we'll be able to use it. So happy. It feels very surreal, but I think it will set in a lot better once it's actually up there.
Yeah, this is an exciting moment.
Yeah, how long have we been, I mean, you poor people have been waiting months since this was the plan. And you're like, just get that camper out there. I'm like, I know, but we had a lot of prep work to do. But
we're trying. It's here.
We're not at the KOA. We're at Shady Acres with Kyle and Shannon's camper home.
Yay!
All right, I'm gonna go get the truck.
Okay. So Kyle's over there getting the truck, and he's doing an awesome job. Like, he's put in so much manual labor into this whole trenching process and getting us ready to be able to move things and put the water and electric lines in. I beat him here yesterday whenever my dad was pulling the trailer for us, and I had to call him because it was like, this is such an exciting moment. I can't believe our camper is actually on our property right now. Like, to see it just pulling onto our driveway and actually being home, it was a pretty amazing feeling. And it actually felt a little bit surreal. We've been working towards this and we've been waiting for this day. It kind of started to feel like it was never gonna happen. So we're super excited and happy that we have it here, and hopefully we can be living out here before we know it. Well, what you think?
I think it's good. That last run I did right there, I was kind of thinking through, if I have, you know, the camper behind me, I'll be coming up this direction and I'll want to kind of go wide a little bit so I don't run into that. I could get the tractor and push that a little bit, but worst case scenario, I get it up here and realize I got to get some of that out of the way. But, you know, we like to learn the hard way sometimes.
Sometimes?
Nah, it'll be fine. I can definitely cut it out wide enough right here that my truck will come up on this little hillside, but by the time I straighten up, the camper will have turned and it should come straight through here.
So where are you thinking of parking it?
I have a few options. If I just pull through and get it out of the way of where we're going to be preparing the site, you know, it'll be in pretty good shade most of the day, and at least it will be up the hill, not in the front, and it's way more level right there, because that's kind of the area that they had leveled decades ago for where the house was.
Yeah.
And I'm not as concerned, and if I need to actually level it properly, since it'll be sitting there a little bit longer till we're done with our project, I can do that.
Okay.
Okay, so let's go get the camper, the pole saw, and try to bring it up the driveway.
Sounds great.
Let's do it.
Okay, so I just got done cutting everything that's overhanging the driveway, and our hope is that whenever Kyle pulls the camper up the driveway, none of the overhanging limbs are gonna hit it. So I'm just gonna kind of stand guard and see if there's anything I need to get while he's slowly coming up the driveway. Our driveway is super, super rough. He's gonna have to go very slow, otherwise it's just gonna be shaking all over the place. I think we're ready to pull the camper up the driveway. This thing is making Kyle's truck squat so much that the chains are dragging. But so far, we are clear on stuff up above. There's his chains. Okay, and then there's one little area up here that we were a little bit nervous about.
We're gonna be clear of those branches.
You're gonna clear it.
Okay, I'm gonna go on up.
Go for it.
All right.
Man, this is exciting, guys. Okay, so I was trying to figure out if Kyle was stuck, and he's not stuck, but there's a little area where the rocks are still piled up. I'll show you here in just a second. He's gonna go ahead and start raking it. We do have more clearance on the other side, but I think it would be too much work for him to go down, come back, take it wider. So he's gonna put a little bit of manual labor in here because he's awesome like that, and rake away some of these rocks.
Well, you know, I cleared where this is my black tank drain and gray, and then that's my goalie or another gray. And this one just kind of barely touched it. I meant to swing a little wider, but I didn't have visibility because my front end is up high. But would it pull through this? Yeah. But do I want to rock the camper quite that hard? No. So I don't know, I may clear it enough just to back up and not hit my black and gray, and then take another wide stab at it, or see how easily I can move these big rocks. Darn it, I almost did that with the tractor before we parked it.
Oh, I'm sorry.
That's all right, that's my fault. Oh, it's so dry. It's gonna be a little bumpy, but I think that'll be better as long as we didn't have that huge pile of big jagged rocks.
Do you think that you can back down just a little bit and then try to take it wider?
Well, a big trailer like this, unlike my 10-foot trailer, this does not respond. You know, my 10-foot trailer,
like to quick movements?
yeah, if I so much as turn my wheel, that thing's going, you know.
Yeah.
I could, and now that I've got this clear enough, let's do a little mixture of both. Let's try that.
Okay. Tanks are clear. Hey, good job.
Hey, thanks.
She's just a little bit crooked.
Well, I'd like to level it out enough to be able to get in and out of it and use it. I'd also like it to be a little bit further forward. So I just need to get some boards or something that I can pull up on. Those 2x6s should be wider than the tread of those trailer tires. So if I put a couple of 2x6s over on this side and pull forward onto them, that'll give me, I think if I do 2 of them, you know, a true 2x6 is not actually 2 inches thick. It's about 1 3/4, so about 3.5 inches.
Do you think it needs to be that much, or should you just start with 1 and see how that does first?
You tell me, let's take bets.
I think you could start with 1.
What if I started with 2 and it worked?
Then you would be right.
But if it was too much, then I would just take 1 out. Let me go look and see. I'm gonna check the bubble level up front. I don't know what those numbers indicate. I don't know if that basically is telling me this is how many inches this needs to be lifted, or if it's 5 degrees, 6 degrees, whatever.
Let's go look.
Oh, you're gonna come with me and prove it?
Well, of course I'm gonna come with you.
Right to left, we're at that between 4 and 5 mark. Somebody tell me, guys, I don't know what these numbers indicate. Are those degrees, are those inches, are those just made up and they don't really matter?
1 board or 2 boards?
I feel like it's gonna be more than 1 2x6, but maybe less than 2.
Well then, what are you gonna do?
Find a thinner piece of material.
Okay,
You want me to get 1 or 2?
I'm trusting you. You'll make the right decision.
No pressure. I think 2 boards.
Okay.
And if I'm wrong, I will say I'm sorry and you were right.
If you're right, I'll let you know you're right.
That sounds like there's a loophole in there.
I'll say you were right. 2 boards was the way to go.
Think it's gonna matter that they're angled?
No.
I don't know, this might be too many. You showing my preliminary idea?
I am. And guess what? We were both wrong. It's 4 boards, not 1 or 2.
Well, this
But-
may go very south and it may split the boards and just push them out of the way, but I don't think the width of the 2x6 is wide enough for me to trust those tires on it. So if all of this will stay together, and I may have to kind of screw them together, do something funky to get them to stay together. I just want to figure out the height that we need first, and then this is not the permanent home for this guy. It's just going to be until we get everything done over there, and keeps this further away from the road so it's not as visible. But I've never had to level out this before. Our KOA spot was perfectly level. We were just on the base rock, no big deal.
Different story.
Different story.
New learning lesson.
We're going to find out if this is enough height or if it's too much. Learning process.
Okay, I told Kyle I would tell him on camera he was right if he was right. And he was. He was definitely right. We needed 2 boards to be driven onto for it to be mostly level. It's not perfect, but it is so much better than it was before. And I'm sure he's behind me making some kind of facial expressions or something.
I'm just gloating.
But at the same time, we ended up using 4 boards, not 2.
Well, for width.
But
not
it was for width.
height.
So height-wise, 2 boards got us pretty close.
Technically,
Good job, babe.
Thank you so much. Technically, you could still use about another 1 by in there, but
We don't have that.
yeah, I don't think I have anything that thin right now. But it looks good. I don't know if you've shown them how much more level it looks now from behind. This is so exciting, guys. This has been a long, long, long time coming. You have been patient with us. We have tried to remember one day at a time and be patient, but deep down inside we were like, we've got to get out of the KOA. We've got to get out here on our property, cut our expenses down a bit. Thanks to Mom and Dad for allowing us to use their house as a way to make this work sooner. Thanks to Shannon's dad, Ken, for helping us, get it to this point to where we could get it out here. He brought it out across the interstate, and then I just had to drag it up the driveway. And Shannon, thank you for clearing out the driveway and making it so that I didn't scrape up the camper all the way up.
And thank you, Kyle, for all of your hard work digging trenches, filling in trenches, putting electrical down, pulling it up the driveway, driving the tractor, pretty much everything. Thank you.
Ain't no thing but chicken wing. It's all for the end goal, right?
Yeah.
Good job, babe.
To be at Shady Acres.
I can breathe
And
a
we
little
are.
deeper. I can breathe a little deeper. We still got plenty of work to do. There is no shortage of that, and there never will be. But making progress, you gotta
You take it one day at a time.
Yeah, and you gotta take your little celebrations. You gotta be grateful when you plan something out and make progress. And sometimes the plan changes along the way, and ours has. But there sits the camper instead of at the KOA.
Dun, da, da, da.
Da, 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 da.
That's exciting.
That is exciting. And kudos to that good old GMC Sierra AT4 6.2 liter. That thing's a beast. That did a killer job bringing that up the driveway.
Yeah, I didn't even struggle at all.
Not even a little bit. Not even a little bit. Except for the gas mileage. That was real bad.
We're not paying attention to that.
Well, yeah,
right now.
we just had to pull it from there to here. No big deal.
Yeah.
All right. Good work.
Good
I'm gonna
job,
get her
babe.
Unhooked. I could throw the generator on it, throw the slides out, get her to where we can get back in it.
Let's not worry about that right now.
Not today.
No.
Guys, milestone. For those of you that have been with us, this has been what all the work has been toward. other than some of the other things that we were doing for like the goat pen and clearing up here for the future and all that stuff.
Thank you for sticking with us throughout this whole process.
Yeah, I know some of you have been chomping at the bit, but man, this feels great to have this out here. Hey, don't forget, come over and follow us on Facebook and Instagram if you don't mind. We do a lot of fun little short things over there, and sometimes you even link below is the easiest way to get there. But sometimes you even kind of get some sneak peeks of what's going to be in the coming up videos before they actually come out. So helps the channel out, helps support us, and gives you guys a little more content on the regular.
Absolutely.
We appreciate you guys so much. We love all the comments, the support, the suggestions. We've learned so much from you, just from your interaction, and we cannot be more grateful. As always, guys, we will see you in the next one.
Bye. Look what is on Shady Acres for the first time ever.